I
right?
need to understand when tourists come in and, steal a baby bison.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
So cute.
But like, I still question, how was that baby bison like unprotected?
I don't know.
That's the question. Like, maybe they were in the right mindset because it's like you should have been gored.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was really impressive for people listening that don't understand the story. That a couple of years ago in Yellowstone, some people took a baby bison because they were afraid it was going to get cold, put it in the back of their car, and then took it to a ranger station. Clink.
How's it going, my guy?
Another day in paradise.
Yeah, just soaking in those cosmic rays.
Oh yeah, man. I'm back in the North Oregon coast. Don't know how long I'll be here. Hopefully not
Hey,
too long.
got a question for you. I've been seeing in the news there's some crazy fires out there. How's it looking in Seaside? Is it as orange as the Willamette Valley, or what do we got there?
I mean, it's not that orange, or that smoky, but it is smoky. Probably the smokiest I've ever seen it here. And I grew up here, lived here for 18 years before I went to college. So I mean, it was really kind of weird this morning. Um, I sleep with the windows open and smelled like I had a campfire in my room.
Oh, I believe it. We out here in Montana are we're used to it. I couldn't think of a word to say, but we're used to it out here. I mean, I remember when we first moved to Montana and we were playing fall baseball and I had practice and the ash was coming down like snow. We're out there playing baseball. Like I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's kind of a bummer though that everything's on fire. Because I was gonna go climb the South Sister this weekend.
I know you and Tyler, who was actually on our last podcast before this.
Yeah, well, we talked about it on that podcast.
Right.
But yeah, that's actually not gonna happen. We're gonna push it back because of the fires. I was actually gonna do like a whole 4 or 5 day deal. I was gonna leave tomorrow. I gotta do some CPR stuff in Portland, but then after that, I was gonna go out to the coast, and then I was gonna hop over to Central Oregon, climb that mountain, and then I was gonna hop back to the coast. But shoot, everything's on fire.
That's nuts. And I mean, come on, people, be smart. Listen to your law enforcement, your firefighters, your people putting in regulations. They don't make these rules to be mean. They don't make these rules to ruin your fun. They do it for our safety and safety of the communities around us. I mean, there's fires in Montana, there's fires in California, there's fires across the whole West. And, the ones that are started by humans, some of them were warned not to do it. Others were told, like, hey, these things are high, don't do it. And I don't know, guys, like, just be smart, use your head. You don't want to end up paying $1 million lawsuit or something. Like, let's be real. Come on, think.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. I mean, fires are natural too, so we can't. Some of these have been natural; they're supposed to happen. It's good for the ecosystem and all of that. But please, I mean, what is it? Last year, 2 years ago, there's one in the Columbia Gorge started because some kids shot fireworks. There's one down in California right now, got started because of a gender reveal party. Like, I get it. It's fun. It's exciting to see what your baby's going to be, but it's 50-50. You're one or the other. It's not, you don't need to be blowing up fireworks and all that, Save it for when the kid comes out or something.
You thought the child was going to be expensive. Now look at this.
Yeah, right. Now you got to flip a bigger bill.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. These fires are nuts. And even just going outside in the smoke, people don't realize how dangerous fire smoke is because of what is actually being burned.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to say about this fire, And I know when people are listening to this, the fires will be long gone by then, but like, wear your mask. Makes it a little bit easier to be outside.
Right?
You should be wearing it anyway because of this COVID thing, but wear it right now. You'll be able to breathe a little bit easier.
Right? No, and it's nuts. And what people don't understand with like ash and smoke is it's not the same as your fireplace, because when you put stuff in your fireplace, it's just the wood, right? But when these fires are burning, they're not burning just the wood. They're burning the plants, the ground, houses, structures, all that.
All of your
And
trash that you decide to dump out in the woods.
yeah, it's not good, and
Yeah.
it's really bad, and puts that in the air. Then we breathe it, and then oh shit, you grew a third eye? How? No.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But it's nuts, and we just don't think. And I mean, they're cool. The apocalyptic feels cool. Get some cool photos, that's for sure. But and we're back after that brief interruption. Mark house almost caught on fire from the fire. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it got up like it was. But no,
Exactly.
everything's fine for the people listening. Everything's fine. Nothing bad happened. I just almost lost power.
Right? No, it's good. Definitely just be smart. That's the moral of the story with fires.
Yeah, when it comes to the fires and whatnot. But it's, I don't know. You got anything fun planned? Because I mean, your state has fires all the time, but I don't think you're getting affected. So
I mean, we had smoke a few days ago when we got that eastern wind. Actually, I heard the winds out there were kind of really bad this last couple nights.
Oh, yeah.
My parents' power and internet and all that went out at their house. No water, no nothing. They're living true old days.
We lost power here too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We out here. Yeah, I didn't do anything recently. I just came back from that wonderful trip with you and everyone out there in Oregon. Kind of had some time to decompress here in Montana. I think I'm going to head back up, try and get one of those early fall experiences in Yellowstone where it's supposed to be 90 degrees next Monday. Yeah, we had a temperature drop where it was like 106 on Saturday. It was 43 degrees yesterday on Monday. And then next Monday, it's going to jump right back up to 90. So I was thinking next weekend, possibly after this Labor Day craziness kind of dies down, I'll go back up into Yellowstone, see some fall wildlife, see some hopefully elk and rut and just different things like that going on.
Yeah, that would be cool. The elk and rut, pretty cool. I hear them chirping all the time. You hear them talking to each other. Haven't heard a bugle yet, but I hear those cows.
Oh, they'll call.
Away.
Those cows will call.
Yeah, they. What is it? I had. I ended up working that food cart this last weekend.
Oh, how'd that go?
Oh man, you know how much I loved it before, but when I was getting up to leave for that, I heard them chirping away, and I was like, "Oh, what a nice way to start my day."
There you go.
And then I got to the food cart, and it was downhill from there. But it was a fantastic way to start my day.
So you gotta kind of, as I wander this way, you kind of had an interesting experience with one of your food cart employees that I think was kind of funny. So you told me he was talking to your parents about what you do in your off time.
Yeah, actually, yeah, what I'm doing, why I left the cart.
Yes.
He told my parents that I'm on a mission, because I am the Reverend, Reverend Marcus. I do. Some people think I am an actual reverend.
Which you are. You are ordained.
I am ordained. My church, we don't really flow like that. It's just an online church. A lot of celebrities do it just because you can marry people. But since I did it, I went all in on the whole reverend thing. I started calling myself Reverend Marcus. I like to think of myself as a spiritual, inspirational person. So,
hey, if that's who you are and you want to share it with the world, share it. We won't pass no judgment.
Yeah. But I am not on a mission trying to spread some sort of word. But I am just living in that moment. So
Yeah, I think that's great. It's kind of funny that you had that. Was he working today when you showed back up?
no, he didn't work the weekend. That's why I worked. But
You think you'll have another experience with this fellow?
oh yeah, for sure.
So I just, and I want this to be an ongoing thing. I want our guests, if you like this, please let us know. We'll keep it going. But I think the next time you see this guy, you need to be like, my brother,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
come to the land of the big trees.
Well, yeah. Here, no.
Magnificent.
Let's keep this. We'll keep the legend of Reverend alive right now. That's right. I'm using the term legend because I think it fits. But I'll hit you guys with some inspirational words. I write things that I find appealing down that really touch me. And let's see. I'm gonna find. Oh, here's this. Actually, a great one. If speaking kindly to plants helps them grow, imagine what speaking kindly to humans can do. So
Right.
yeah.
Here's one that I wrote down. Horses of a feather, don't abandon the ship.
That one takes a littleit more thinking.
When you think about it, they won't abandon the ship. Right?
Yeah.
No. Because horses will always abandon ship because they don't have shared feathers. Think about it. They go to safety. They're selfish animals.
They're just looking out for themselves.
Exactly. No, it's good to journal and write.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book that I'll never finish, but
oh yeah. That's the other thing I was gonna do this whole weekend. That I was gonna go escape all the distractions of here and read because I'm studying for some cert. So I also read to read. So I was gonna go. Oh, but actually, I may possibly nothing in the books yet, but it would be exciting for the podcast. I may be getting my hands on temporarily on an RV.
Woof, woof, woof.
Yeah. It would be a bit much for my style.
Getting that 40-footer, getting it in that getaway parking.
Yeah, it'd be a bit much of my typical style because, I'm like your backpack kind of. I load up whatever fits in my backpack kind of deal. I have my hammock. I have very low, minimal amount of stuff that I typically. So having a big RV and it's spacious. So.
Oh, yeah. How'd you come across that?
Well, it's my sister's, and she recently said if I wanted to take it for a while, that I'm more than welcome to. So,
Make it happen.
yeah. I don't know yet. Because it's a big RV,
Hey, Teddy Roosevelt National Park's calling.
I was probably going to head south.
That's smart.
We talked about these guys on the last week on the podcast, but I want to go see the sequoias.
Right.
So I have been itching more and more for sequoias.
That's a good idea.
Or the other thing I really want to do, and I'm kind of just waiting to see how COVID and all this is one, get to Hawaii. I would love to get to Hawaii.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go.
Yeah. But right now I heard you have to wait for 14 days.
It's smart.
Yeah, and I get it. I'm not trying to dog on Hawaii or anything. I understand what they're trying to do.
It's an island, and this is a virus.
Yeah.
Science class, petri dish.
Yeah.
It's an island. You know, come on now. We learned these things, what, in the 6th grade, 7th grade? Come on, everybody.
Obviously, not everybody did, because
Right.
if we did learn this, we probably wouldn't be in this situation.
Well, life goes on, and we have a podcast, and we get to share and celebrate that with people like our upcoming guest as well. So
Yes, actually, no, that's the other exciting thing. So we have a guest today.
what? Who?
Yeah, and it's not Matt Buddy.
Right? How you doing? No, I'm just kidding. Every time you say that, Matt Buddy, how you doing? It's A and B, walking left, right.
We have a guest, and it's not Matt Buddy. Actually, it's another former roommate of mine. One actually I lived with Matt Buddy and her when Corvallis. So since those times, she has done some amazing things.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she has worked up in Alaska. She has been in Florida.
She's done everything in between.
Yeah, she's done a lot of cool things. This interview was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But for anybody out there, it's the Miss Racheal Croucher. She has an Instagram, RageFace08.
2008.
08. Is it 2008?
I think it's 2008. So you guys aren't confused. Rach, RACHFACE 2008.
Yeah, here, I'll double check this right now. Oh, it is RageFace 2008.
See some of her cool pictures.
Yeah, see some of her pictures. She has an amazing story. I'm super excited about this interview. But anyways, let's bring on the guest, huh?
Woo woo!
Anyways, welcome to the podcast, Miss Racheal. How are we doing today?
Good. Living the dream.
Oh, right. It's a beautiful day, although it's a little bit smoky for me here. So
we got some of the really bad smoke yesterday.
Yeah.
So I heard it was bad there today, though.
Yeah, it's there's a big east wind that came, and I've never seen it this smoky on the coast before. So
did you see
crazy
the pictures coming from like the Willamette Valley?
Oh yeah,
orange.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear? Well, it's a rumor. I don't know. It might not be true, but I heard the Blue Pool, the forest is going down right there.
Oh, really? I know that there's some fires in that area.
Yeah.
So
someone posted it. I don't know if it's reputable, but it's so sad if it is,
Yeah. The Blue Pool is really cool.
You check it out. It's all black like that. Get some cool pictures of the forest, the burnt forest around that Blue Pool.
Yeah, the contrast.
You've been to the Blue Pool, right, Racheal?
Me? I went with you.
You did?
Yeah, remember? Okay, it was.
Oh no, that's right. That's right. We went because it was you, me, Selena, Matt, Bob, Colton, and
there
Tim.
we go.
Oh yeah, there's the fire picture right now. Zach showing.
Yeah.
This is my aunt's back porch, no filter.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was like here yesterday, but I've seen some way worse. And it just looks totally red, unreal.
Yeah, right. It's kind of crazy, the fire.
Well, the one time I had a good one was when we were up in Sealy, and that whole mountain on the east side of Sealy was on fire. And it feels like you're living this apocalyptic lifestyle in the smoke, and they had the Army National Guard tanks out. You can't go up this road. It's nuts, and that's what they're doing in Oregon right now.
Yeah, it does have that end of the world kind of feel to it.
Unsettling, almost like when it snows, everything gets quiet, and then it's just doomsday.
Yeah.
And the sun was hot pink. It's crazy. And the worst thing is fires are so beautiful too. It's It's
Mhm.
so beautiful to just watch the mountain burn down, but it's
Yeah.
The glow, but it's natural too. People don't understand that. Like,
yeah,
you get this. The native peoples they would farm. They would burn the fields. They knew what if they come back, the buffalo would come back, and this and that. If they, all that.
Some of them are natural. There's one that started in California. It's at like 7,000 acres, and it got started due to a gender reveal. So,
yeah. Like they did a firework display or something.
yeah, I don't know.
It was the mechanism that exploded, and they
Really?
were warned not to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw an article today. It was like, we should stop these stupid gender reveal parties.
Yeah.
Now here you know why.
Right?
We had a guy here in Montana. The fire, I think, is at like 100,000 acres now, where he's like, they told him, the county was like, don't do a controlled burn. Like, just don't do it.
Right.
And he's like, I'll just pay the fine, whatever. What happens? It gets out of hand, and here we go, it's just burning up things.
God.
Yeah. And he's going to be paying a lot more than that fine now.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
But so let's jumping into some because you, Rachel, have done some really incredible things.
Oh my gosh.
The first thing I really want to get is that your time taking pictures up in Alaska.
Yeah. So after I left Oregon State, I moved up to Alaska. Actually, I didn't move up. I was visiting, right, for a month, and I ended up meeting my boyfriend and stayed. So let's see. I got a job it was Alaska Rainforest Sanctuary at the time in Ketchikan. And
Who's there?
what's that?
What'd you do there at the sanctuary?
That was the photography gig. So what the place does is they bring people on tours to show them all the flora and fauna. Mostly it's the bears that get the big draw, because they have the estuary and the salmon run right through there, and it's private property, so they can get like really, I don't want to say that getting close is the main thing, but the thing is you get really close to the bears. You're up on boardwalks. But there's also the zip line, right? So that goes over top of all of it. And so my job was to take pictures of the zip liners coming across. And it was the best gig because, I got to go zip lining every day, but I wasn't responsible for anyone's life. That's on you. So that's kind of how I got more into the photography. But then just every day off that you get, you could go to some of those beautiful places. If you haven't been to Ketchikan, it's an island, and it's just gorgeous. So there's a few different like flight tours that I got to go on. Go to the Misty Fjords. If you haven't seen that, you should look it up. And just randomly, I was helping someone do training with photography, and they were like, "So you want to do like the full bit?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll just be here when you get back." And he was like, "No, you're coming with." And so we just get in this plane, like a float plane, tiny little thing, and just take off and go get to take pictures in such a beautiful area. It was cool.
Yeah. No, I remember looking at all of your like Snapchat stories, and I swear it was like every day you'd have like a couple black bears in them.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Ketchikan only has black bears. Well, mostly only. If any of the brown bears get to the island, the locals take care of it, is what they say. So
that sounds like very Alaskan.
Yeah. But well, I guess they don't want like a population of what is seen to be a more aggressive bear, but it's but with the black bears, they got really used to having people around, so they just didn't care. It's like I would have to walk up to where I would zip line. There's 2 courses. On the second course, you'd walk up. And there were a number of times that I just was walking, and I was always trying to whistle or clap my hands as I go. And I just walk up on a bear, just like, "Oh, hello there." Like,
I remember the bear when I was up there. I went to Denali National Park.
Oh, yeah.
Before you can go through the park, they make you sit through a bear etiquette class.
Yeah.
And I remember they whistle, clap, say, "Hey, bear. Hey, bear."
That's always the go-to,
Yeah.
"Hey, bear." Like the bear doesn't know it's a bear, right?
Right. Or I always wanted a bear to pop out and say, "Hey."
Hello.
Yeah, right. You met my cousin Smokey?
Exactly. I mean, I had a couple of like close encounters, but nothing that was scary other than like the startle factor.
Yeah.
I did have a bear bluff. It didn't bluff charge. It looked like it was gonna bluff charge, and that was enough for me to be like, all right, I'm out. Like I'm good. But I was not using my etiquette because went down this trail and I knew there was this beautiful log, and so I have my camera, which feels like a defense mechanism, and like follow it around the corner and went to take a picture of it on the log, and it turned around and took a couple steps like, nuh-uh, you don't follow me. And I was like, oh,
Right.
You're right. What am I doing?
Yeah. No, have you seen the recent video of in Glacier, some hikers getting charged?
Oh yes, it's
Yeah.
like pretty far away, and everybody. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all yelling.
I think that's crazy that all the other hikers are like yelling, "Don't run! Don't run!" and everybody's scattered.
Yeah, there's one guy that he's just like, no, I'm not going on the trail. He just starts taking off like I don't even know where.
Jeez. Yeah, I would not want to be in that position. I'll tell you that.
No. Regardless of the bear, black, brown, white, grizzly, whatever, panda. I not really want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
No, we'll get you.
Imagine a panda charging, but yes.
Yeah, I know. Every video I've ever seen of a panda, it's like always like baby pandas, and they're like clamping onto zookeepers.
Yeah. Or being clumsy and just falling all over the place. That's the kind of bear I want.
I think like a group of them is called an embarrassment.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It would definitely make sense.
Yeah.
But I ended up pulling up the Google search of those misty fords. I just want to see if this is what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's them. Misty Fjords.
Fjords. Yeah, that's right. FJORDS.
Beautiful.
You know.
I know. Look, the first search I did was misty fogs, which that's going to be easy to pull.
That's my company. You see the one? It was a plane with the blue stripe. That was my company.
Oh, this one over here.
Yeah, don't go looking them up. They had a bad season last year.
Oh, that's good to know.
It's like a calculated mistakes.
Calculated mistakes. But so while you were up there, along with, being awesome ziplining every day, which sounds like a dream to me, honestly. Were you able to do any other Alaskan adventures?
Yeah, for sure. We tried to get out and about around the local area all the time. But I did my last summer up there a couple years ago. We got to go to Denali, which was super cool.
Yeah,
Tell us more. Tell us more about Denali.
Denali was amazing. It's different than anything I even imagined. When we got to go, it was like primo wildflower season, which really cool.
Mark would have been nuts.
Yeah. And their brown bears are like hay colored. So you're looking for the big blondies. And looking out like where all the glaciers have cleared the way, and you just see like what looks like a giant bale of hay.
Oh.
Yeah, that was super cool. My one regret was that we only stayed for like 3 days, and I would have liked to be there for a month, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't get to do the whole park either, but that was kind of the decision we made because we didn't want to do everything half-assed. We wanted to do half of it whole-assed.
Yeah.
So we went to, I think it's called like Mirror Lake, and so we got one of the buses and just stop every, however often and go explore. A little bit of hiking. We didn't do too much hiking because of the time limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a big park?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know in comparison to other parks because I'm not super sure, but it felt huge. It took several hours to get out to that point. So.
Oh wow, yeah, I bet it must be. I don't know how it compares either, so I was just curious. But
we got to see like a bunch of the brown bears, moose everywhere, and yeah, that was cool. A bunch of caribou, porcupines, which I didn't realize it. I had never seen a porcupine up until then.
Really?
friends and family in Oregon and Montana are like, how have you not seen a porcupine?
Yeah.
Love
I've never seen one in the wild. I've
Yeah.
seen it at a zoo.
Mhm.
Shot
Pretty
at.
much the same, less fences.
Yeah, for sure. The caribou, that must have been cool. I've never seen one. I've always wanted to see one.
Yeah, it was super cool. The one that we got to see close up was collared, so I feel like that kind of takes away from at least the photography part of it. But it
Yeah,
was super cool. Yeah.
yeah. The collar does. Like when we go to Glacier and see the mountain goats, they all have the big collar on, and
Mhm.
sometimes I feel like they keep them in that area, like they have an invisible fence for them or something.
Just stay here.
Yeah, yeah. We need you for attractions. Keep the people.
Right.
They
Yeah.
get kind of aggressive, not like mean, but just in your space. Have you ever had one come up to you and like try to get in your space?
Not a goat. I've gotten in the goat's space before, but he was just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah. One of my friends went on this hike recently in Washington, and there was a sign right at the trailhead that was like, beware of aggressive goats. And so we looked to it like, why are these goats aggressive? I guess they like to lick where people pee for the salt.
Oh,
Yeah. So they get like all up in your business.
little too personal with nature there.
Well, we read on some of the hikes in Glacier, they have that at like campsites. I think one was up by the Many Glacier area. It was like, be careful of like the goat that wanders into the campsite.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there is one where it said like the goat. It's like a backcountry spot. They say the goat will like come and hop in people's tents. Which that would remind me of that scene in like Jurassic Park, the second one where that T-Rex is sticking its head in the tent.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah. You know what? Jurassic Park always makes me think of that road trip when we went to go see Zach, actually.
Yeah. Well, because we listened to the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like dinosaur themed road trip the whole time.
Well, we stopped at that park, right? Or did we? You have the park in Pierce, or not Pierce, South Dakota, in Rapid City. There's the dinosaur park.
Did we do that?
I don't know if we did it. I remember seeing them up on the hill.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but we stopped at the museum and slept.
Yeah, Museum of the Rockies, and we were all so exhausted that we went to the planetarium and all fell asleep.
Yeah. I have no idea what goes on because I was asleep.
And which is interesting, it's a star show, and you love star shows.
Yeah. I mean, I bet it was really cool, but we had stayed up all night to drive.
Yeah.
I think mostly you and I had. And then I just remember the lady coming up after the show being like, the next group's coming in.
That's what I remember too. I just remember we were there. I was sitting. The chairs were super comfortable, and then I was out. And the next thing I know, someone was like, "Mark, we got to get out of here."
It's a good museum, man. I'm kind of disappointed you guys didn't get to see that.
Well, we just didn't get to see the show. We got to go see all of the dinosaurs. It was really cool.
Mm-hmm. It was.
It's a good museum.
It was, yeah. I would recommend.
No, that was good. And then you said you recently did a trip where you drove from Florida to Alaska.
So, yeah. When I was, I did it actually maybe 5 or 6 times.
Oh,
so, yeah, that gig up in Alaska doing the photos.
Air horn. You know, like, what? 5 or 6 times.
Well, that's the thing.
Crazy.
That was a summer job. And then in the winter, we would go to Florida. And in Florida during the winter, that's their peak season because all the snowbirds, they go there. So there's a lot of like serving jobs. Basically everything doubles. You need jobs. So let's see. Of the 5 times that I did it, my favorite was probably when we drove from Alaska to Florida. We went through Canada all the way east and then down the east coast.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was cool. But the best part, at like nature outdoors wise, was Banff in Jasper. Have you guys been?
Oh, that's what I've
yeah.
heard.
I've been to both Banff and Jasper, and they are amazing.
Yeah, super cool. I've only been in like the early spring and then late fall, so there's almost always been snow. But it's still, I mean, it's just so gorgeous anyway.
Mhm.
Oh
Um,
gosh, I bet.
Did you go to the Columbia ice field when you were up there?
I don't think so.
It's like right as you're driving from Banff to Jasper. When you get into Jasper, they have like a skywalk, but then it's like the
Oh yeah,
biggest ice field in North America.
yeah. I guess I just didn't realize it had a name, but yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
but it's cool to see that all that ice.
yeah, and it, it's like there's places here in the States where you can get it too, like Tetons,
Mhm.
but the mountains are just bam, like they're right here and they're a mile high.
Yeah.
Just yeah, and then you get those lakes like what's the one? There's Moraine
Hmm.
and I can't think of the other one.
It's like Louise.
Louise, that's the one. Yeah, Lake Louise, and they're that glacial melt, most beautiful blue you've ever seen.
Yeah, that just eye popping blue.
Yeah,
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 it's amazing.
that's good stuff. So that was the first stop on the trip.
And then from there, you went all the way across. Like, did you get like east coast, like right ocean in Canada, then down, or?
No, we went all the way to, let's see, I think we crossed the border in like Vermont or New Hampshire. Vermont, because I went to Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, because that's the original one, right?
Yeah, that's like the original factory and everything. Kind of a cool stop.
Yeah, I'm assuming you had some ice cream there, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's super good. And they also have this weird thing. It's like all of the flavors that didn't last, they have a cemetery for all of the dead flavors. Yeah, it's weird.
It's kind of cool though.
What else did we do? We did Niagara.
Oh,
We did it
did
from
you
Canada
do the
side.
Canadian side or the American side?
Canadian side.
Yeah, I heard that one's better.
I think so. Just from where we were standing, if you were only on the Buffalo side, it would be like, yeah, not a good view.
Oh.
But I guess, there's a bridge cross right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is it cool to see Niagara Falls? Because I mean, I've only seen pictures and it looks cool, but
Right. There are some things that like you actually get there and you're like, what a disappointment. But no, I think that one's pretty cool. Like I had seen pictures, but it doesn't do it justice. The photos don't do it justice in that situation. So it's really cool. So even on a warm day, all that mist coming up, it's freezing. So
oh,
yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
And so then from there, you just went down East Coast from there?
Yeah, mostly hit the big cities because I feel like, well, actually, first we did, what do they call it? Like leaf peeping because it was during the fall. So we got to see a lot of the changing colors there. Went to the Portland Lighthouse in Maine, which is
the one you always see the photos of.
Yeah, that one was really fun. It was just really cool. Got a lobster roll. And then hit the big cities. So we did Boston, we did New York, we did Philly, we did DC. Which city's not my jam, you know that.
Yeah. Which out of those four, which was your favorite?
Probably DC. I don't know why, because it feels like a city, but it also feels cleaner. I don't know.
Okay.
You feel safe in DC. I think that being the nation's capital, people get into that, like that. And then the museums, it's all tourists.
There's so many things to do.
It's not like New York where you're literally like, oh my God, these buildings are so tall and I'm trapped in between them.
Yeah.
You get that feeling in places like that.
For sure. New York, I don't know. I like New York. I like that I went, and I feel like I probably don't ever have to go again.
I get that feeling about New York. If you're not someone that likes the cities, it's one of those things where you have to go see the concrete jungle, and then that might be the one and only time you need to see it.
Yep. I mean, I might want to go again in like, I don't know, a number of years for like the New Year's thing, but it's not going to be enjoyable. It's going to be a bucket list item. It's just going to be like, okay, I went to say I went, but
yeah, it's like, I mean, I want to go to Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, just for Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
That's just a bucket list item, you know.
Yep.
But
put it on the list.
yeah.
I did.
And then so from there, obviously down to Florida. Where in Florida were you?
North of Orlando is
North
where we were.
of Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
I almost ended up moving to Orlando recently.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually offered a job in Orlando to work with the Orlando City Soccer Academy.
Really?
And then COVID hit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So what's that look like now? You waiting to hear back after COVID, or is it like come and gone?
Well, last time I talked to him, I actually still have the job. They just can't hire me yet. So,
right. Well, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, you know, I'm keeping my options open though too. So I might. Orlando seems to be a top destination maybe for me.
Well, Orlando in and of itself is not bad. I mean, considering all of Florida, Orlando's not bad. But my favorite thing about it is the location, because you can go to the beach on either side in like 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can go watch the sunrise on one side and watch it set on the other in one day.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list. I didn't get to do it while I was living there, but I'm gonna make it happen.
That's on my bucket list too.
You're welcome.
That's really good to know.
And I still think it's the best weekend of my life was also in Florida. Got to go down to like Naples area.
Mm-hmm.
First we did Sanibel, then Naples, actually Marco Island. We went shelling. So you've seen people looking for shells in Oregon, but no, like you're walking and walking looking for anything on the beach that stands out. In Florida, the beaches are made of shells, like down in Marco Island and Sanibel. Yeah, look it up. And you're just looking for the ones that are perfect. So it's just you're walking on shells and just finding the good ones.
Really?
And it was, yeah, I loved it. And we went with this tour. Red's friend is a tour guide, and we got the dolphins swimming with us up on the wake of the boat. And we did a bunch of fishing. He caught a hammerhead shark, threw it back, obviously. But
oh, yeah. Dang, that must have been cool to see.
Super cool. Yeah.
So
and then we got
I kind of want to jump back to the shelling because I'm like low-key interested into it because
I'm so into it, like crackhead status.
Yeah.
I could tell you every shell in order of like scarcity.
Okay, so like is there like a crown jewel shell that you were looking for?
Yeah, Junonia is the biggest, is the best one that people look for, sometimes for years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm kind of, because I did a bunch of agate hunting when I was in Humboldt, so I'm like,
it's the
if
same.
I ended up going to Orlando, I know 100% I would get into the shelling thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I loved it.
So I found a picture of these beaches, or kind of these beaches I'm going to put up here.
Yeah.
Is there like a shell that you like best?
Well, I still haven't found a Junonia. I really like the lightning whelk, which is on your screen, the upper left right now. Those are all lightning whelks.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like the Florida, like the fighting conch, they're everywhere. By the way, I learned while I was there, it's conch, not conch. I thought it was conch my whole life.
Yeah.
And I made fun of hardcore.
But is that a Florida thing? Is it like because they say it that way in Florida and like in like Hawaii? You know what I'm saying?
Valid point. I have no idea. Hawaii is actually my last state on my list, so I have never been to Hawaii.
Oh, go.
It'll be my 50. I'm trying, but COVID keeps getting in the way, man.
Really? You've been to 49 states.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that means getting out of the car at least. So at least like all those trips that we would drive from Alaska to Florida and back, we would go a different route, right? And so, yeah, I tried to hit them all.
I gotta ask, what's your least favorite?
Least favorite state?
That you've been to?
I mean, I feel like everywhere has something, but there was.
And I mean, it may have been something where you just had like, maybe you had a bad experience, you know, you got food poisoning because you ate something.
Thank God that didn't happen on these like 40-hour car drives.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Ohio, but just because that's one that I kind of like on the down low count because we were there. I didn't do anything in Ohio. Like got out of the car to count it and that was it.
Oh, okay.
But that's the only reason.
You know, I lived in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You know, Ohio's down there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Indiana and Illinois too, and those. I mean, in Iowa, Kansas.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Kansas, but I had friends there, so that was fun.
You're like, they're going to listen to this. They're going to listen to the podcast, and they can't hear me dog on Kansas. Hey, we'll take the listens. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go.
Dang, that's really cool though that you've been to 49 out of 50 states. We just need things to open up.
And I have got a cordial invitation from Karen to go to Hawaii. So trying to make it.
Let's go together because I got the same invite.
There we go. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawaii 2021 brought to you by Quartz Lake Productions.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Actually, last summer I was at 48. My last two were Michigan and Hawaii. And I had a conference in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this conference and I was determined to get to Michigan because I was like, it is right around the corner, you know?
Yeah.
So I got in, like, kind of spur of the moment, grabbed an Amtrak, went to the first town in Michigan, which happened to be New Buffalo, Michigan, which was like kind of a yacht town. Like I didn't know what to expect at all.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But it was like kind of ritzy and it was the most beautiful day. I spent the day on the beach, what felt like I was on the ocean, but it was on Lake Michigan, and spent the day there, count it, and then I came back.
Dang, that's really cool.
That
is such a you thing, that spur of the moment. That is such a you thing. I remember when you first went up to Alaska and then Matt and I heard you were going to Florida and we were like, well, that's kind of Racheal.
That was like kind of the worst thing too, because I didn't know that I was going to move. So when I left, I cleaned out some of my stuff, but I left the rest for you guys. I remember I was just like, hey, so I live now. Do you think you guys can put my stuff in storage?
That was fine. I've had way worse places.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Hydrate or Dihydrate. Because you can't drink water, people. Hydrate. If you don't hydrate, you're going to dihydrate. So please hydrate or dihydrate. Enjoy listening.
And we're back.
What?
We just watched a ad that I made reminding you to hydrate or dihydrate. So, because hydration is key. And we're in the middle of summer or towards the end of summer. It's hot. Water, people. Water, water, water. But anyway, we are here with Racheal, who honestly has been doing some crazy adventures. I had no idea about the 49 out of 50 states until today, which I'm gonna be real, kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, I know it's been a long one, but we're making it happen. So.
Yeah, I hope things clear up and you're able to get to Hawaii real soon.
Well, I'm actually super stoked that Hawaii is my last state, because what a way to celebrate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was gonna be my second follow-up question here. Is Are you gonna do anything special to celebrate your 50?
I mean, I've got to. I mean, is it not celebration enough to just be there? But
Yeah, right.
I'll probably go all out. I think I want to go skydiving. I've been wanting to go skydiving, and I think that's the perfect place.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. Because at least if like something goes wrong, that's the last thing you're seeing is like, wow, like even from the sky, Hawaii is just beautiful. You know, because I've had the same thing. Like if I ever go skydiving, it's going to be in like Hawaii or somewhere like that. But
Exactly.
you know, it's not going to be like middle of nowhere, Montana, like out in a field. You know, like hey, I'll take you up my farmer's plane and just jump out.
Have you seen there's like that skydiving place in Oregon? It's just right off of I-5. I don't even remember where it is. But I'm like, who would go skydiving there? It just
Oh, I know.
I saw an
There's one,
indoor one in Beaverton.
really.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Okay.
Actually, there's a guy at OSU who worked at it that I met. He worked at a skydiving place, and he was trying to convince me to get approval from the university so I do it in the mascot suit. He wanted to have the mascot on him while we did like the skydive, and I was like, I don't know if I could get that approved.
He just hammer down low.
Yeah. Well, the helmet didn't have a strap, so I saw that head flying off real quick.
Yeah, and you'd probably have to wear like a helmet underneath it because you have to wear a helmet for skydiving.
Yeah, I think so. So it would have been interesting.
It would have been really cool though. I feel like there's also a number of things that you did in that suit that were probably not approved.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. I mean, that's being a mascot though. You push the boundaries of what you're doing.
Well, you have to. You know,
Yeah.
I think the program where we had it, where we wanted it to go, was we wanted, you see the duck? Everyone talks about the duck.
Yeah.
It's like we wanted Benny to be at that level. And, you know, when you have these administrative people who say, yes, you can do this, no, you can't do that, it's kind of hard because it's like, I want to jump off the scoreboard and tackle a duck fan.
Yes.
Why can't I?
Yeah.
It's like you should be allowed to. Like you got immunity in the suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and we were fortunate.
Survivor challenge.
Yeah, we were fortunate. You know, we learned it was easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So,
Sure.
But
I can remember when I had like my cousins and some friends with me at one of the basketball games, and we did our handshake, and you're in the suit.
Oh yes.
All my little cousins were like, "You know Benny?" Oh.
Right, that's always the best when you're with people, and then like Benny comes up and does like something very unique with you. You're just like, oh man, I like thought I was cool, but I'm not like I know Benny cool.
That was the coolest I've ever felt in my life. Not about it.
There was this one kid. So Mark knows him very well. Well, I wouldn't say you know him very well, but you know this story very well. And it was during my sophomore year, the Wayne Tinkle's first year, you know, we're just getting good again. And he was this exchange student from China, and he would just like come to every home game. So even the winter games when like there's like 5 fans in the stands. And he would give Benny notes that he would make in class on like highlight, like they were highlighter drawings. I still have these drawings. I saved them because I'm like, you know, this kid cared. I'm not going to throw him away. Like, you know, he's a college age kid too. Like that's the other thing I want to throw out there. And like these are these like childish drawings, which I was like, all right, cool, man. But he really liked Benny and would like always pet Benny and like hold on to him when he'd come by. So you have to make your time brief with him. But for Christmas, he gave me $1.
Yeah.
So I got $1 one time. And I'm like, thanks, man.
Yeah. Some people have an infatuation with mascots. And then there's the complete opposite. You have people that are mortally afraid of mascots.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. It's actually, I remember I did a children's hospital event And I walked in this room and I saw this other gal sprinting out the other exit in the room. And I was like, someone said, "Oh, the mascot is coming," and she's like, "Nah." She got out of there like there was like a code or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, you went to Yellowstone and the Tetons recently?
This summer, yeah.
Us
How-
too.
Yeah.
We didn't do Tetons.
You
We
should.
saw the Tetons.
There you go.
Yeah.
So does that count? Because we spotting scoped them multiple days.
Yeah.
Sure.
How was it? How was your time?
It was beautiful and amazing. I have never been one to be like, oh, Tetons is on my list. I mean, now I'm gonna do like all the national parks are gonna be on my list now that I've done the state.
Now that you've done the States.
Yeah, but Tetons wasn't ever on my list because I hadn't really heard much about it. But if you're into photography, it's, I mean, never ending opportunities to take pictures. It's beautiful. We also got to see this bear. So they name the bears. It's a 399. She's kind of an old broad. They weren't sure if she was gonna come out again this year. She came out of her den with 4 cubs.
That's what it was.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, I have heard this one. Yes.
Yeah. So we got to see her way up close. She's one of them that has kind of learned to raise her cubs right off the roadway, because it keeps all the male bears away, because the male bears don't want to come around the people. And so she, like, the first time we saw her, we were just driving, and you see all the cars parked on the side of the road because she's around. And we were just driving to go get a spot, and she pops out, walks on the road in the lane right next to us. She's like right there.
Whoa.
It was super cool. And the babies were adorable.
Yeah, I bet.
And then
Mark-
lots of like scenery too.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
That's it. It's like lots of scenery photography.
I don't think Mark has ever seen cubs that close.
No, I haven't.
Which is kind of interesting because me and Mark in 2019, we did our big road trip. We kind of ended it in Yellowstone, and he went out the West Yellowstone way.
Yeah.
And I came up going up through Gardner, and like within 15 minutes of like leaving Mark, I came across a mama grizzly and her 2 cubs. And it was the same kind of experience, right off the side of the road, right there. You're just like, oh my God, look at these little guys. I just want to put them in my car.
I need to understand when tourists come in and steal a baby bison.
Yeah, that's right.
So cute.
But like, I still question, how was that baby bison like unprotected?
I don't know.
That's the question. Like, maybe they were in the right mindset, because it's like, you should have been gored.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was really impressive for people listening that don't understand the story. That a couple of years ago in Yellowstone, some people took a baby bison because they were afraid it was going to get cold, put it in the back of their car, and then took it to a ranger station. So what amazes me is that they actually got it in the back of their car.
It must have been
Right.
a tiny baby.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of it in the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of,
they were thinking like, this is the best thing I can do,
yeah.
Right?
but sad.
Yeah, they were probably some very suburban people, some very, very pedestrian people.
Well, I don't know if Tyler told you this story. Tyler's my brother, and he was talking about his friend from the Bay Area down in California, and he's like, yeah, his friend was telling him a story about this time a duck landed in their yard.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just like, his dad was like, come on, come outside. There's a duck on the lawn. and he's like, Tyler's like, oh, like, really? Like, that's the story? You were all excited for a duck on the lawn? Like, it's like, yeah, like, it makes sense. Like, these people exist. We've concreted ourselves in enough to, like, fuck nature. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Do you still do a lot of photography, Racheal?
Only a little bit nowadays. Not so much around here. So Red, my boyfriend, he is more into photography than I am.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the photographer when I started up in Alaska. I took his job. He became a walking guide. So, but he's still into photography. He's the one that kind of is driving our, like, oh, let's go to Rainier this weekend. Let's go
Oh,
check out
that's cool.
sunset, or the Milky Way. So yeah,
That's
a little bit.
Dang, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I guess more importantly, is there a place the listeners and viewers can go to see your photography?
I don't. My
Oh.
Facebook or my Instagram, I suppose.
Facebook or Instagram. For people listening, the Instagram is
Racheal, no, give me a second.
Look it up.
I obviously am not good at promoting my own photography, right?
self-plug is not the best attribute here.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No, what you could do, Mark, is you could tag Racheal in one of the Quartz Lake or Wandering Ways. I guess you wouldn't do it on the Wandering Ways stuff, but you could always email Wandering Ways at WANDERINGWAYSPODCAST@gmail.com. If you guys would like to ask any questions, we can get Racheal back on one of these times if you have any questions for her about her amazing road trip.
Maybe
You can
after I go to Hawaii.
Go ahead.
After I go to Hawaii.
Yes.
There you go. Maybe they'll have some questions for you. And then we could also answer them on the Quartz Lake Instagram, Quartz Lake Productions. You can the Rougarou, that's my Jeep, looking for Bigfoot. We're out there, we're searching, haven't found him yet, but we're always looking. Or Mark, Reverend Mark is across all platforms, and ask us questions, we'll get you an answer. Did you get your Instagram handle yet?
Oh, we did. It's Racheface, RACHFACE 2008.
Well, that's an easy one right there. That's her. Add her, like her, subscribe, get the followership up.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's get her viewership, her followers up. I mean, I mainly asked because I always have to be this guy, but it is coming to the end of our interview.
No way.
I know it's been a quickie. It felt like nothing, which is I always enjoy that. But with that being said, we always do our final words. And Racheal, since you are our guest, you get the first final word. Anything and everything you would like to say, promote, whatever you want. The floor is yours.
I'd say find your happiness, because everything is hitting the fan right now, and use it as a beacon of light, a beacon of hope. And I learned this one the other day. You are the sky, and the clouds is all the bullshit. So as that's all going through, just remember that you are the sky and you will shine through.
I dig that. I really like that one.
I do too.
I like that.
Yeah.
Zach, my man.
This week, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media. I've been seeing where people are going. So my big word of wisdom this week is do your research. Whether it's a political thing, whether it's something you want to do, always do your research, check multiple sources, understand the problem and the issue. We need less ignorant people in this world. We're all ignorant in our own ways, so we got to fix that. And how we fix that, we're going to educate ourselves, we're going to do our research, and we're going to figure it out, because that's going to make us better for tomorrow.
I dig it, my man. Final words of wisdom from the Reverend. Thank you guys all so much for listening. You're beautiful people. I want to give a special thank you to Racheal, our guest. So happy to have you on today. Please follow her on the Instagram, Racheface08. We'll have it here in the video version, and then we'll also have it probably in the descriptions as well. So that being said, you guys are amazing, and peace out, everybody.
Bye.